500 watching points. Watching point number 106. Watch, lest you yield to the belief that to fill your conscious thought with the better side of this human dream, or even the outward activities of our organization, is in some way making your thought more spiritual, and that this is better than to be haunted by evil suggestions. This watching point is not intended to imply that such activities are wrong or that some thoughts are not better than others. But the goal of Christian Science is to have our consciousness reserved for God's thoughts alone, and we must refuse to let human suggestions obsess thought, as a waiter would refuse to let anyone occupy a table reserved for a special party. Progress in understanding and practice causes us more and more to see the need of filling consciousness with spiritual good, and not to feel satisfied when it is filled with human good. A carpenter countersinks a screw in a board in order to fill the hole, so that when the board is painted, one cannot detect where the screw is. If for any reason the screw has to be withdrawn, whatever he used to fill that hole must be removed first. Mortal man is held in bondage to matter by the belief in its reality and its domination over him through the beliefs in the necessity for food, sleep, air, exercise, etc. These beliefs are, so to speak, screwed into unconscious thought and more or less hidden by the debris one finds in conscious thought. Divine mind comes like a carpenter with a screwdriver to release man from this bondage. How can the screwdriver operate, however, if the hole over the screw, the conscious thought, is so filled with rubbish that divine mind cannot locate the screw? From the standpoint of the carpenter, everything is rubbish that hides the hole, whether it is deemed good or bad, worthless or valuable, poisonous or harmless. When conscious thought is obsessed with fear or sin, resulting in sickness and suffering, one is driven to cast out the error through the power of God. But before divine mind has a chance to release him, even to a degree, from the belief in matter, let us suppose he permits the better phases of human thought to obsess him. Is not the last stage of that man worse than the first? He believes that these latter thoughts are good and legitimate, so he does not see the necessity of casting them out. The blindness that retains the spurious because, from the standpoint of human rather than divine good, it seems to be valuable and legitimate, is induced animal magnetism. Absorption in a stamp collection, for example, may seem harmless. Committee work on the Christian Science Monitor, done from a purely human standpoint, may seem quite commendable. But whatever tends to rule God out of consciousness, though it be dressed in angelic vestments, is sin.